lot of attention on the 2010 midterm elections. Of course, that'll be a year from now, roughly, next November. What's going to happen? Well, we have some indicators that we will be following very carefully here at Gallup between now and next fall to give you an indication of the direction of the trends in the midterm congressional elections. Number one is what we call our generic ballot. We've talked about it a lot here. That's simply asking people, if the election were held today, would you vote for the congressional candidate that's a Democrat or Republican from your district? But there are other indicators which help predict that generic ballot and also give us a good understanding of what's happening in terms of the overall congressional election. Let's look at a few of those here. Presidential approval. The lower the presidential approval rating as we get near the election next year, the worse the Democrats will do. That's because the president is a Democrat right now, and that stands to reason. What about congressional job approval? Well, that's interesting. The lower congressional job approval rating we have, the more churn there is going to be based on history. In other words, if people are very dissatisfied with how Congress is doing its job, a lot of change, a lot of turmoil. So we'll wait and see what that predicts. Satisfaction with the way things are going in the U.S., that's fairly straightforward. If that number is low, we can expect the Democrats to lose more seats. People who are highly satisfied, of course, tend to keep Congress as it is. If they're not satisfied, it's the other way around. Finally, we have party favorables, and again, this is fairly straightforward. We look at the image of the two parties. Democrats are in control of both houses of Congress, so if next fall we find that the Republican image is coming up and the image of the Democratic Party is coming down, that's not good news for the Democrats. On the other hand, if, as is the case now, the Democrats have a better image than the Republicans, we would expect the Democrats to do better in the 2010 fall midterm elections. A lot of interest in the midterm elections coming next fall. Stay with us here at Gallup.com, and we'll be tracking them on a weekly and monthly basis. I'm Dr. Frank Newport, Gallup's Editor-in-Chief.